Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in this video we are going to be learning our new vocabulary words for chapters 9 through 12 of The Outsiders. Alright, so the first thing I want you to do is take your vocabulary sheet and I want you to circle your rating for each of the new vocabulary words. Remember, you're looking to rate the word based on how well you know it before we go over the definition. And remember that a 4 means you are an expert on that word. You could teach it to somebody else. You can use it in a lot of different contexts. You even understand the word family. A 1 would be you've never seen or heard the word before. Our first word is conformity. Second is delirious. Third is flinch. Fourth is veered. Fifth is stupor. Sixth is recurring. And the seventh is diversion. All right, so let's talk about our first word, conformity. If all your friends wear jeans to school and you wear checkered slacks, you could say that you reject conformity. That means you don't do the same thing as everybody else. Because conformity basically means when you try to behave like the rest of a group. Your behavior is the same as everybody else in society, in the group. So conforming means to be like everybody else. You can see in the picture that everyone there is conforming to the same outfit. The corporate culture demands a certain conformity of appearance, so everyone wears a similar looking gray suit. Now, conformity happens to be a noun, so you're going to talk about somebody's conformity, but you can also use it as a verb, and you could say that you conform to something. Conform is the verb form of conformity. All right, our next word is delirious. If you're delirious, you're uncontrollably excited or a bit crazy. Like when you win the lottery and you run screaming through the streets, you might then say you're delirious with happiness. Again, because being delirious is, again, it could be extreme happiness, but it's more than that. You're not able to think or speak clearly. Oftentimes it's associated with fever or illness, but also from excitement. So it really does have two contexts that you can use it in. If you've got a really high temperature, you're so delirious you don't know what's going on. And if you just won $20 million, you get so delirious with excitement and happiness that for a few moments you don't really know what's going on. You're just like reveling in that feeling of excitement. As the child's temperature went up, he became delirious and didn't know where he was. He was not able to think or speak clearly. He's out of it. That's another way to think of delirious, when you're out of it. All right, our next word is flinch. To flinch is to react to pain, either by wincing, pulling away, or cringing. So it's often used to describe a person who shows a moment of weakness or fright. Now, if somebody was really tough, they probably wouldn't flinch. Like a fist would be coming right towards their face and they wouldn't even move. But if you make a movement to avoid that fist, you are flinching. All right, so once again, flinching is to show fear. It is a verb, so it's something that you do. You flinch, or the person flinches. You could also say that it means you're hesitating from doing something unpleasant or dangerous. The bill was much higher than expected, but he paid it without flinching, without fear, without hesitation. All right, our next word is veer. To veer is to make a sudden turn, like when a driver veers off the pavement or a pleasant conversation veers off in a troubling direction. So you veer to the left, you veer to the right. You're basically not going in a straight path. You're changing direction quickly or suddenly. The wind suddenly veered and began to blow from the east. So again, the wind, when it veered, it changed direction. The bus in the picture veered off the road and fell into a ditch. Our next word is stupor. A person in a stupor is considered barely conscious or stunned. Or if you listen to the lyrics from a famous 70s rock band, Led Zeppelin, dazed and confused. All right, so you can see in the photograph, Mario looks very dazed and confused, probably due to those mushrooms right there. All right, so in a stupor, it can be brought on by drugs, which is why I jokingly said Mario was eating those mushrooms in the previous slide. But it can also be alcohol. It could be illness. Doesn't necessarily have to be something bad. It can also be shocking news, like when you get the news that somebody has passed away and you are in a little bit of denial or you're shocked. You might doze off with a lampshade on your head if you're in a drunken stupor. If it's shocking news, like the passing away of somebody who wasn't sick and it was unexpected, you might sit there with a dazed look on your face, not able to really interact with people because you're lost in your own thoughts because of the surprise. So again, you can be in a stupor because you're shocked. It could even be something a little less negative, like if your boss says he's replacing you with a robot, you might find that to be very shocking. So again, a stupor is a condition in which someone is not able to think normally because of being drunk, drugged, tired, shocked. After not sleeping for 3 days, Paul fell into a stupor of fatigue and couldn't think straight. Now, please just keep in mind that stupor is a verb. So you cannot say, I stupor when I receive bad news. That would not work. You could say, I was in a stupor. Right? He fell into a stupor. All right, our next word is recurring. Recurring is an adjective. When you describe something as recurring, it means that it's going to happen or appear again. So something that's going on and on. Even though I try to fix it, the same problem keeps recurring. It keeps happening again. So there are a lot of different things that could be popping up or returning or happening again. Like the flowers. Flowers are a recurring subject in the artist Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. So you could refer to them and say that she has a recurring motif, a recurring subject, or that the flowers are recurring. Recurring lateness is a habit that your teacher or your boss won't tolerate. There are many people who just can't wake up on time. Lots of people have recurring health problems, so the same problem keeps coming back. Like maybe if you have allergies, that's a recurring problem, having a stuffy nose. And a guest character on a TV show who shows up once in a while is a recurring character. They're not in every single episode, but they often appear. They just keep coming back. Usually that happens when the character is popular. All right, our final word is diversion. A diversion can be something that takes you off the course that you're on, like a detour while you're traveling or a game of tennis that takes you away from the stress of work. Maybe you're on a road trip to California and you see a sign that says the world's largest rubber band ball at the next exit, and you decide to take that exit and go visit this amazing attraction. That would be considered a diversion. All right, so diversion is either the act of changing the direction or the use of something. So you could talk about how you're diverting something. If you use it in that form as diverting, it's a verb. If you use it as a diversion, you have to talk about the diversion because it's a thing. So somebody was a diversion, or there was a diversion, or I was diverting somebody as a verb. So something that people do because it's enjoyable, entertaining, or pleasant can also be described as a diversion. So even though I had a lot of homework, the TV became a diversion to help me relax and procrastinate my work. They're only proposing the law to divert attention, verb, to divert attention from important issues. So when they divert the attention, they're turning the attention to something else, into a different direction. Now, the noun diversion, like I said, can be used also as a verb, the verb divert. They both have to do with a change of focus or direction. So when you want to break from something, many diversions are welcome, like a game of 20 questions. And also, conversely, some diversions are unwelcome, like when the guy next to you is texting during your French midterm. That's a diversion that is distracting you from doing well on your test. So just keep that in mind, that diversions can be both positive and negative. All right, so it's now time to write our own example sentences. As always, you want to make sure that you use the word properly. So adjectives are used as adjectives, nouns as nouns. You want to make sure that your sentences contain context clues. So you want to think about the 5 W's, especially the why and how. Those are especially the type of details that help create context clues. If you do 2 sentences per vocabulary word, you can get extra credit. And if you use any previous vocabulary words, you will get bonus points. Don't forget to bring your vocabulary sheet to class tomorrow.